What's up, guys? Ivan here with getivan.com, and in this video we're going to be looking at a Quora answer for is URL length a ranking factor in SEO? So let's look at what some folks say, and then I'll show you what I found here. So they're one of the most basic elements. They're vitally important. Backlinko reports that URLs are a significant ranking factor. URL length is listed as number 46 in top factors. That's interesting. In when you search for this, there is a rich snippet that says, in short, no, it's not, which is funny. Is URL length a ranking factor? I want to see who said that. Search Engine Journal. Length of the URL could affect appearance of search snippets, but does not affect search rankings. Does not affect ranking, purely a matter of which URL is shown in search. So to sum up, when it comes to search rankings, neither the URL length nor the number of slashes matter. And that could be a, now they're saying Sir Roundtable is saying not a ranking factor. Um, so this is interesting stuff. I bet that they took it from a quote, yeah, from some Twitter thing that John Mueller did or whatever. Google's John Mueller and Mueller rank does not matter for SEO except for one situation where it might. As a personal preference, Mueller tries to keep URLs under 1,000 characters because it's easier to track the data that way. So they're saying that Mueller says it's not. Anytime someone from Google sends out a tweet, then everybody's like, oh, we got to jump on this and blog this. But it's interesting that this guy is saying that Backlinko did a case study, and showed that there is some sort of correlation. And oftentimes, Neil Patel, Brian Dean from Backlinko, Ahrefs, and SEMrush, those few tend to do some pretty good large-scale scraping studies on the SERPs. And this would probably be one area where the data actually shows otherwise. But pardon me. It could just be that people who rank tend to choose more optimized URLs. So it could be just not a ranking factor, but it just so happens that people who do rank tend to keep it concise. So that's possible. But it also could be that John Mueller is mistaken and the algorithm does prioritize optimized URLs. I don't know. A URL, let's see, impose limits, optimal format. Okay, that's nonsense. This one says, no, the length of a URL is not a factor. However, it could be a great benefit if the URL contains keywords. This guy says, nope. Okay. This one says it's important. So one thing I did when I search, oftentimes when I search for something that could be data oriented, I just go right to the images section. And Neil Patel had a little graphic on URL length and says average number of characters here. And you can see Google position 1 to 10. Basically, the shorter it is, it looks like in a 10 character range, the more likely it is to rank. But what's kind of deceptive about that is that what a lot of people would miss is the fact that this is the difference between mobile and desktop, because oftentimes I will put titles under 50 characters to try to make sure that it shows up on mobile devices better. So, pardon me, depending on how Neil did the scrape, like I'm not sure if he did both mobile or desktop or what it was, like it could be that, pardon me, that it's actually showing a gradient between, like, you have better mobile rankings down here, and then you have also more. This is the point when I guess desktop rankings would kick in, but down here, those lesser characters can rank for both mobile and for desktop. So that could be what happened. I doubt that they made that kind of mistake, had that kind of oversight. So you have John Mueller saying, no, URL is not. Well, length of URL is not. But then the data actually shows a shorter URL seems to do better, but does it doing better because it's both now mobile and desktop in consideration? I'm not sure. So it doesn't seem like there's a straight answer, but I will tell you that just from the standpoint of, now I was thinking when I was commenting on mobile, I was thinking meta title. My apologies, meta title and also meta description. Um, but I also like to use the meta title as the slug. I like to keep that slug short. I don't want it to be long string. So I think that has a benefit. It looks more professional, and you know, I like to match the URL. Obviously, the keywords in the URL have a ranking, are a ranking factor. So I think it's better to keep the URL short, pardon me, and concise as you can. In some cases, I will actually have a different H tag and meta title, and then I'll have like the URL as like one single word because it's like a power page. It's nothing else going to reflect that, and I want it to be. Sometimes I will use like a really broad keyword there just to keep it simple and make it look authoritative. You know what I mean? So I think that's good practice, but it does seem to me like it's not clear uh, what it what the truth is in terms of whether length really is a ranking factor, or I don't know. Like, you have two different answers there. So sorry I couldn't be of more help. I guess I can give two answers and make a recommendation on best practice, and that's pretty much it. Thanks, guys. Bye bye.